Here is Senator
Good
McConnell.
afternoon, everyone. As you now know, the Judiciary Committee majority has decided to call a hearing for Monday to give Dr. Ford an opportunity to be heard. And I anticipate, obviously, they will handle this in a fair manner. It is still disturbing, however, to think about the way in which this is developed right at the end. The ranking member of the Judiciary Committee had notice of this for quite some time and decided to spring it right at the end. And it's pretty obvious this is all about delaying the process. But the accuser certainly does deserve a right to be heard, and we're looking forward to hearing what she has to say on Monday. Judge Kavanaugh, as you know, has been anxious to testify, and I'm sure he'll be here as well.
So far, Dr. Ford's lawyer has refused to respond to invitations to participate in a bipartisan process, which is traditional in judicial nominations, either responding to the staff for an interview or even the invitation to come testify on Monday. But we certainly hope that she takes advantage of this opportunity if she still would like to. If she'd prefer to do this in a closed setting, that's her choice. But we've offered her basically either an open or closed setting. But again, to reiterate what Leader McConnell, the point he made, we wouldn't find ourselves, nor would Dr. Ford find herself in this situation if Senator Feinstein hadn't sat on this letter she's had since July, said nothing about it during the course of the hearing for Judge Kavanaugh, and now raising it at this late date. But we believe that the process of confirming judges should continue to be bipartisan. We're hopeful that our Democratic colleagues will join us in making sure that we can restore some dignity and civility and decorum to the process, rather than just have another repetition of what we saw during Judge Kavanaugh's earlier hearing, which is basically having a judiciary hearing by mob rule.
As the leaders pointed out, the situation in the Supreme Court is entirely of the Democrats' own making. Remember, we've had 32 hours of open testimony on this Supreme Court nomination, where members had an opportunity to ask questions in an open setting. There were closed meetings. There have been 1,300 written questions that have been responded to by Judge Kavanaugh, and he met with 65 United States senators over the course of the last 2 months, and never a whiff of this letter until just this last week. And so this is a process that the Democrats have created, and it's entirely now up to us to try and make sure that Dr. Ford has her side of the story heard, as well as Judge Kavanaugh, and we hope that she will take advantage of that opportunity and we can move forward with this process. In the meantime, we continue to get record economic news. In addition to having 4.2% economic growth in the second quarter of this year, very robust number. We also saw middle income levels reach their highest level ever in 2017. Number of job openings, highest level ever, and at 6.94 million job openings. And then also we've seen the small business optimism.
All right, so listening to some of the leaders in the Republican conference there, reiterating just the bit we had gotten a second ago, it sounds like, David Chalian, I'm going to put this to you. It sounds like, again, Mitch McConnell, again, going back to, listen, this was on the Democrats. They had this information months ago. What he didn't say, but read between the lines, they're playing partisan politics. This comes out at the 11th hour, this bombshell of this allegation. He keeps referring to the accuser. I think we should name her. Christine Blasey Ford. He's saying, listen, we want to have this hearing, whether she's there or not. We're offering her a private, closed hearing or a public hearing. I want your thoughts on what you just heard, A, and B. What happens if she is trepidatious and she doesn't show up on Monday? They hold a hearing anyway?
So I think what you saw Mitch McConnell doing there, Brooke, he's trying to walk a really fine line here. He's trying not in any way to be seen as offensive in any way to the allegations, to Professor Ford, trying to show a complete openness and desire to hear from her, and instead put all of his sort of elbow throwing towards Dianne Feinstein in a process way to slam the Democrats for the way they've handled this. As you know, the Democrats say she wanted to remain confidential. That's what Dianne Feinstein has said in trying to explain why she handled it the way she did.
Respecting her wishes.
That is what Senator Feinstein says is the reason why she handled it this way.
Hang on, David. I'm hearing Senator McConnell still talking. Hang on.
Well, Dr. Ford has talked to the Washington Post, indicated she wants to talk to the committee, and we're going to give her that opportunity on Monday. There have been multiple investigations. Judge Kavanaugh has been through 6 FBI investigations in the course of his lengthy public career. We want to give the accuser an opportunity to be heard, and that opportunity will occur next Monday.
But there's been no investigation into this. Should there be one?
She's going to have an opportunity to be heard Monday. The committee will make decisions about the makeup of the hearing, but she's been asking for the opportunity to be heard, and she's going to be given the opportunity to be heard on Monday. As Senator Cornyn pointed out, she could do it privately if she prefers, or publicly if she prefers. Monday is her opportunity.
You've had several meetings with members of the Judiciary Committee on this topic and how to forge ahead here. That said, that would indicate, in your mind, the fact that you're having these big meetings, that this nomination is in trouble. We know you only have a 51-49 majority here. Are you concerned that this could tank this nomination, regardless of what's true or not in this case, because it's only 51-49?
No, I'm not concerned about tanking the nomination. We've been meeting with the committee to agree to a process that is fair to the woman who is accusing here, that everybody can agree is a fair process. And the committee has agreed to do it the way I just outlined. I think that gives her ample opportunity to express her point of view. And Judge Kavanaugh, of course, has been anxious for days to discuss the matter as well. Thank you.
All right, so Asha, let me come back to you just on the FBI point. As former FBI, and we know we played the sound earlier from Trump talking about how he feels like the FBI shouldn't be involved further and that they don't want to interview, this Kavanaugh matter any further. And we've heard from Democrats on the FBI as well. Well, what is the FBI perspective?
Right. It's important to remember that the FBI's role in this whole process is to conduct the background check, as it does for other presidential appointees, even applicants to other agencies. They're actually acting as almost a subcontractor, uncovering information and then providing it to the decision maker, in this case, the White House, to look at and then determine what to do with it. The FBI is not the adjudicator here. Also, the underlying allegation here is not a violation of federal law. So there's no independent authority to investigate it as a criminal matter. That's not something they would do.
But that's what, let me just stop you right there. Can I stop you? Because if you read the Anita Hill opinion piece in the Times, she says, and I wanted to ask you about this, select a neutral investigative body with experience in sexual misconduct cases that will investigate the incident in question and then present the findings to the committee. And she refers to then the senators on the committee as the fact finders, take the conclusion from said neutral, investigative body to determine the outcome. Is that plausible?
I think definitely that could be constituted by the members of Congress here. They could create a body of people. It could include former FBI agents, for example, or other kinds of investigators or experts that would engage in a fact-finding query and come back and present those findings that could either be the basis of asking questions to the two parties here or for, coming to some decision and only questioning the judge. But in terms of the FBI's role as the FBI, that would really at this stage be at the discretion of the White House if they wanted to say, okay, we need more information on this as part of the background check. Could you interview some of these people? But they're not going to do it otherwise.
Okay, the room is filling in the White House, which tells me we are moments away from seeing the president and the leader of Poland. Gloria, to you, What if, to your point, to use your great word, trepidatious, what if Professor Ford is hesitant, even though her attorney said she wants to testify? Yeah, she is trepidatious. So what if she doesn't show?
I think what we know about the process so far, I mean, her taking a lie detector test, talking about it in therapy, dealing with it over years, I can't imagine that she wouldn't be nervous or scared. You know, the stakes are very high. What I was hearing from McConnell was concern about timing more than anything else. McConnell was saying this is happening Monday.
Like, no matter what.
This is Monday. He kept talking about we want a fair process, but it's happening Monday. And he knows full well that the Democrats don't want it to happen Monday, that the Democrats believe there ought to be a different kind of a hearing, that there ought to be an investigation, which is what I'm presuming Professor Ford will also want. And that Grassley, the chairman of the committee, has not even communicated with her attorney yet. So that means things are so unsettled. And the committee clearly wants this done before the midterms, clearly wants Kavanaugh confirmed. And they are making their point about process, which is, you know, you threw us, you know, you blindsided us here. And we're not going to let you get away with that. And we're going to give her hearing, but it's going to be on our timetable, not yours. And they're going to stick with that.